Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Corman, and today we are back with the third podcast video in the series. Now, today I wanted to bring up a different topic and talk about something that isn't related to Monster Hunter Worlds. And I figured I would go alone for this one because I don't really have a partner for this topic. On the last video, I was up with Bunny Noah, and we had a good time with that one. Expect him to come back in this series because he had some really good talking points. Before we get into this next video, because I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna know what it is because the title's there and the thumbnail pretty much has today's topic. I wanted to say that regardless if you dislike or like that video, I'm going to keep making these. I've already been demonized to the point for being anti-Monster Hunter Worlds that I just don't care at this point anymore. I've been called a tyrant, been called a salty Nintendrone. Like, I want you guys to know that whatever names you throw our way, it's not going to affect us because we're already over that crap. It's been this bad since Night of E3, and no matter what you're going to say to us, it's going to bounce right off. Like, we've seen it all. Whatever nickname you can call Noah and I, it's not going to matter anymore. So I just honestly give up. Like, if you want to think we're tyrants or retards or anything like that, just go ahead. I'm not stopping you, but if you think you're going to accomplish anything by calling us that in the comment section, you're not. And I'm going to start removing comments that do that because it's not productive in any way whatsoever. It doesn't relate to the video. Ad hominems everywhere. Like, that's just the basis I wanted to get out of the way. There's already been 2 comments on the past. I'm not going to mention them by name, but you basically ruin the point of trying to generate points of discussion for the next podcast if that topic comes up. So try and ask a question. If you really do disagree with me, or Noah, keep ad hominems out of your question. That's for one thing. Don't call us brain dead retards. Don't call us tyrants. Don't do any of that. Just ask a question or say I respectfully disagree and here's why. And then we'll talk about that in the next video. Is that too hard to ask? Okay. That's just being on a serious note here. Now, on to today's video and why we are here. Today, I wanted to talk about Pokemon. A few things about Pokemon. What I thought of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. The current state of the Pokemon community, which is in a very, 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 how do I put it, delusional state. And I wanted to talk about Verlisify a bit. Yeah, that shouldn't be new. You see all these videos talking about Verlisify and all that. I don't know which order I'll go in, but I want to go in with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and what I thought of the game. Alright, so let's get this started. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, to me, I enjoyed them. I loved how they were able to improve the game. They added actual post-game, which I've been hammering into the devs, that you need to master this concept. Pokemon games, like, you have these morons who are like, the post-game doesn't matter in a Pokemon game. Well, they say that because, everyone's going to play competitive. Not everyone is going to play competitive, and they were able to finally add a working system into Ultra Sun and Moon with the battle, was it the Battle Agency? Yeah, they were able to add that. They add the Mantine surfing. They add the Rainbow Rocket. Oh, and by the way, there will be spoilers. They have all this going on, so you can replay the game and enjoy it still. You can shiny hunt more. There's more. All the Ultra Beasts, they're not shiny locked. You can go after them. That adds hours and hours and hours upon gameplay. So, to me, they improved what was wrong with Sun and Moon. They didn't improve the SOS battle system. That was still garbage. I think that's always going to be a problem with Gen 7. Now, it did have a little bit of the same storyline until the end. Now, the thing everyone has been calling this game, and even I harped on it before this game was out, is that this game was going to be glorified DLC, essentially. And, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, it still is. Like, I liked the game, but what I was really worried about it being was literally just the same story with a little tweak, and then just giving it to us. But I went into that knowing it. I didn't really care about that because Pokemon Emerald does the same thing, honestly. But the thing with Pokemon Emerald is that we got Fire Red, Leaf Green in that generation. We didn't have a copy and paste horrible plotted line game. So Emerald, in my honest opinion, gets a free pass because we did get new games in that generation. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, they're the last games of the generation. You have Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They didn't add anything else. There was no Sinnoh remake, which I'm still scratching my head on why they ditched that. And you have pretty much the same game up until the end where Lusamine doesn't go all bonkers. Galadian ends up leaving instead of Lily. The Ultra Recon Squad guys, that they appear every now and then. Other than that, it's literally the same game. Literally the same carbon copy game. So, I don't know what to tell you guys. It's what it is. Like, I don't know what you're going to say that this isn't glorified DLC. It pretty much is, with an upcharge of $40. Now, playing Monster Hunter, I'm used to this kind of stuff. Like, we get, with Generations, the most recent example, or Try back way whenever they first came to us, we had low rank and high rank, and then they'd add on the extension for like $40. That's how it works. So I'm not really worried about that. I've dealt with that with Monster Hunter. But to other people who aren't used to this and who are experiencing a full Pokemon game when they get the experience, that's just how it is. And they really messed up with that. They didn't do the Gen 4 remake. Sun and Moon should have been what Ultra Sun and Moon should have been, in my honest opinion, because I enjoyed Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon a lot more. I really did. I thought it was a good game, but they ruined it due to the fact that it was literally Sun and Moon, but better. I still liked the game. To me, it ranks above Gen 6. Like this game, Oras is pretty much the second best game in the series for me. But they topped Gen 6. Like Kalos, they topped X and Y because X and Y was just pathetic. Well, I don't know what it was about those games, honestly, but it didn't really resonate. I think whenever they just moved from and this is going to sound like a Gen 1 type thing, but I think honestly when they moved to the 3D sprites, they really killed classic Pokemon, honestly. And with all the throwbacks Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had, I felt like that was able to bring some of it back. But, guys, I'm going to be honest. You can't not call this game glorified DLC. It's what it is. I liked the game, but it's glorified DLC. You cannot tell me that a game with literally the same exact story all the way up until the end, with a few minor patches, is a completely new game. If you say that, then you're a Sun and Moon apologist. I'm sorry, you're a Gen 7 apologist. You blindly... You're the equivalent of a Monster Hunter World's White Knight. For all the people who've been watching. You will literally defend every single problem with this game and said, oh, they're just trying something new. Yeah, when you try something new, you be expecting criticisms. So, that's how it is. Like, that's the review of the game. Good game, ruined by Gen 7's dev team. Onward to Gen 8. I'm excited for that one. Because we're getting the original dev team back there. So, yeah, that's about the first topic. Now, these next two topics that I'm going to get into are going to be very personal. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go into full evisceration mode here. Let's talk about the delusion of the Pokemon community. Let me tell you, I've met some wonderful people. I've met Ben Guevara, Hasty Swampert, Jenna, Rising Tide, like before he switched and went trans. Some people in the UPA. I met some great people when I was doing Poketubing and all that. At the same time, however, I met some pretty bad people. All right, where do I go with what happened in the Pokemon community? It's the reason why I use the word delusional is because they think that every Pokemon game that comes out is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Okay, there are a lot of groups. You know how in these podcasts when we're talking about Monster Hunter, I'm talking about two groups. The World White Knights and you have the anti-Monster Hunter Worlds people. In Pokemon, there are so many factions, I don't even think you can keep up with them. How do I put it? You have the casuals, the competitive players, the Gen 1ers, the elitists who play Pokemon. There's a lot of them. You have so many factions, it's hard to cover them, but they all add on to this massive delusion that makes Pokemon so toxic and why it honestly has derailed since Generation 5. The game got too big for the developers to handle. Even the developers are delusional. Like, wasn't it just like recently that they didn't even know how to incorporate their own rule system, like in competitive play? I don't know where I saw that. I think it was one of Verlisify's video. They didn't even know how to incorporate their own rule sets. So I don't understand what they're going on with that. Competitive's a mess. Like my friend Kite, he like says the only good Pokemon this generation was really just Ultra Beast, Tapu, Toxapex, and that's about it. I don't play competitive more. I used to do it back on the channel when Chatot was a huge thing back in Gen 6, and she just swept everyone alive, and then they nerfed her, and then competitive kind of died for me after that because it wasn't as fun not using Chatot, but you have all of that going on. Like, the game developers adding to the delusion. You have all these generation wars about which generation is the best going on. Like, it's a crap show. Like, if we think all the stuff going on with Monster Hunter is bad, with the White Knights and the boycotters, this is worse. There is literally faction after faction after faction. Whereas with the world situation, it's just two factions. It's the White Knights and the boycotters. Oh, but it gets better. Let me tell you. There are people that I know I'm going to probably trigger some people who play Pokemon, but guys, this is a kid's game. Okay? It's a game meant for kids. I don't know why you guys have to invest so much time into this game and get so worked up about other people liking a certain generation that you particularly didn't like. I freaking hated Gen 7. A lot of my friends liked it. But you know what? I don't really care. But I can at least get by with it. It's honestly ridiculous. Like, how much hate you can get for liking a generation everyone seems to jump on just because, oh, it's the anniversary, it's the 20th anniversary. Watch our massive delusion and hype train kill the game. And I'll get into that in a second on what I'm talking about there. But you just have these morons flipping their crap over a game meant for, like, what? 8-year-olds? Like, guys, I'm being realistic with you here. This game is not targeted towards you as much as you moan and complain about it, about Game Freak not being behind the times. Yes, I've done that too. I've been a part of that area. You guys, you're not the targeted audience. If you want to be the targeted audience, Gang up, do what the boycotters are doing for Monster Hunter Worlds. Gang up, show Game Freak your disdain, and maybe they'll change something. You aren't going to get anything done by just sitting there and not taking action, not speaking out as a group. You guys are all like different on this whole subject, and you can't get along. That's why it's a massive delusion. Oh, but it gets better. Yeah, I have so many things to say about the Pokemon community. Sun and Moon, when it first came out, I knew a guy. I'm not going to mention him by name, but I know a lot of the people are going to be watching because I'm pretty sure. I know most of my subscribers are Pokemon fans, so they're probably going to click on this video rather than the other two podcasts. But the other two podcasts have been doing good. Thanks to the people who've been watching those, by the way. But there was one dude, and he was joined by a lot of other people. One of my favorite YouTubers, I might add, Poketubers. And they were all like, Sun and Moon is going to be the best game in the series. Just you wait, Corey. Oh, it's gonna blow the sales charts out of the water. They're going to freaking kill everyone. It did sell well, by the way, but still, let's get out of that. It's gonna be the best game in this entire series, even though we haven't seen one freaking gameplay trailer of it yet. We're just gonna go ahead and make this really fast assumption, an inappropriate assumption, that this game will be the best in the series. Fate. Yeah. You know who I'm talking about. The people who overhyped Sun and Moon killed the game for me in so many freaking ways. The more and more information we got about this game, I was like saying, oh my god, what are you doing, Game Freak? But they were still all like, yo, this is the best thing ever. Oh, a freaking flower wreath design Pokemon? Yeah, that's some good crap right there. Oh, these Ultra Beasts that can easily be defined as objects from the freaking human world? Yeah, that's good too. Oh, what the frick? Oh, is that wires? Yeah, that's a good design. Let's just continuously defend these designs that absolutely suck on a regular basis. So, you guys are dumb. Why do you have to White Knight? Don't be like the White Knighters. That's not good. Do you really want to be labeled as that? You kill games with your massive and idiotic hype. You freaking say fake expectations for games. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, oh, it's going to be 3 years in the future. It's going to have a completely different story. And Ash Ketchum, oops, that slipped. And Ash Ketchum is going to be in the entire game. Oh, it's going to be so great. We're going to have this massive... No, it wasn't anything like that. Even the devs confirmed this game is going to be literally glorified DLC. Please stop putting these expectations on our game. Stop overhyping, please. You're really hurting us. But they didn't listen. And honestly, these people are to blame for why Gen 7 didn't do well. Not because Sun and Moon sucked, which honestly I think it did. It's because they set unrealistic expectations for the game when they should have kept it low. Because they even said, we want to try something new. If you hear, we want to try something new for this game, please do not set your expectations so high. You're going to kill the game. You're going to make it... You're going to ruin it for everyone else, essentially. And that can go over with Monster Hunter Worlds. You have the White Knights. You guys could potentially kill Worlds. How would you feel about that? It ain't going to be the boycotters' fault. How are they supposed to hurt the sales just because, oh, we're just not going to buy the game? That's on you guys. You don't buy, you hurt them. So, what are you getting at all this, Corey? And I'm getting here. Don't freaking set unrealistic expectations for a game that hasn't even been tested yet. That you haven't even seen a single trailer of the gameplay, and that you haven't even seen a single bit of the designs of the Pokemon. Like Xurkitree. Now, I love Xurkitree as a Pokemon. He's really fun to use, but his design is terrible. You have what's the face? Celestial. Oh my god. I don't even want to get into some of the Gen 7 designs. Like, that's for a whole new video. I could eviscerate the entire Gen 7 design team if I wanted to. Like, guys, just don't. Please, don't let these guys make the designs in the Pokemon next gen, because we're going to have some really terrible Pokemon. But yeah, on to the last video. This podcast isn't going to be as long as the others. It may actually just hit 30 minutes, because I'm kind of moving at a fast pace here. It's more of like a blitz podcast, because there's other things I want to cover. That's pretty much the massive delusion of the Pokemon community. You have people going to Generation Wars. You have the elitist snobs who play competitive. You have the idiotic casual fan base, which is kind of almost as stupid as the competitive fan base, if not more, because they do things like overhype a game and set unrealistic expectations. And then you just have Gen 1ers. Like, everyone knows what a Gen 1er is. Some people think they exist. Some people think they don't. Like, that's just how it is. I think Gen 1ers exist. I know one who works at my GameStop. He's not going to watch this video, so I can talk crap. I know one who works at my GameStop. He's like, Gen 1 is the best game in the series. Oh, they went to crap after that. So, yes, I can validate Gen 1ers do exist. But it's not something to freak out again, because remember, this game is meant for 8-year-olds, you morons! Get a life, get a job, stop living in the basement. Okay. So, there's one last touchy topic I want to get in with this video. He's known as the furry of the Poketubing community. He's known for stirring things up, or so they say. He's going at Pimp Night. And they dislike. Oh, let's talk about that madman Verlisify. Verlisify! Oh my god. Stupid rap. Okay. So, you guys heard me go on about Verlis before? Favorite Poketuber. I like him. That doesn't mean I agree with everything he says. But I still love the dude. I know people close to him. I know Jenna, she's really close to him. Hey, Jenna, what's up? I wanted to talk about not really so much of Verlisify hate. Well, yeah, kind of, but I wanted to talk about these idiots in the Poketubing community. Okay, this one's going to get this video disliked. I already know being for Verlis isn't really the best thing to make your best image you can have in the Poketubing community, but I'm just going to take a stab at it and go ahead and defend him. Like, why not? I'm already hated in the Monster Hunter community. I didn't used to be hated. When Worlds rolled around, let's keep it rolling. There's someone out there who agrees with you. So, Corey, what do you think about Verlisify's recent and past dramas he got into with other YouTubers? Okay. The most recent one, I believe, I haven't been really following it, was the Pimp Night drama, if I remember correctly, where Pimp Night, like, Verlisify said some things over, like, Twitter, and then accused Pimp Night of hacking and, like, staging his battles, and then Pimp Night basically responded back with a video that I'm pretty sure was fake as crap, and then Verlisify responds back to said video, pretty much calling what I thought it was fake as crap. And then there was this whole thing with fake DMs and all of that, and apparently Pimp Night lying to his subscribers. It was messed up from what I heard. I'm not going to get into that. All I'm going to say is there's some things I agree with Verlis, and there's some things I don't agree. But I think when it comes to this whole drama, Pimp Night, just back off. You aren't going to gain anything from freaking trying to defend yourself from Verlis. Like, you should be, like, you're already exalted on the Poketubing ladder, aren't you? So, if Verlis makes like a claim against you hacking or cheating, but your fan base is okay with you hacking and cheating, do you really need to defend yourself and then like go ahead and continue to make this drama spin? Now everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Verlisify starts the drama," and you know what? Maybe sometimes he does. Maybe he asks for it, but do you really have to escalate it, guys? You are adults. I am a freaking... Okay, you want to know my age? I'm 18 years old. You guys are in your 20s. You have jobs. Do you really think you should be setting example for kids who are looking up to you and going on these petty wars just because someone claimed you were hacking, which you shouldn't even be doing in the first place? I'm sorry, if you have to hack in a game meant for 8-year-olds, it's very embarrassing. Like I have one friend who I know who hacks. I don't get on to him as much as I should because I don't want to start any more arguments with said friend. But this is a game for 8-year-olds, guys. It's not even competitive in the first place. If Chaddock can freaking sweep through your team all throughout Gen 6 just because of confusion, this game is not meant to be competitive. So you have all these petty wars going on in a game meant for freaking 8-year-olds. I'm just going to bring that up again. You have Pint Knight going, "Oh, Verlisify, the scum of the earth." And then, let's see if you guys remember this name. Do you remember Lou Mario? Oh my god. He was like this guy who started the boycott freaking Verlisify movement. And then you have Duncan Knee Deep. And I have a little bit more of an issue with him. Because this man plays both Monster Hunter and Pokemon, and he's a freaking White Knight in the process. So, I'm not even going to get on to Duncan Knee Deep. Like, screw that. But, you got him who's like, "Oh, Verlisify literally defended Nazis on Twitter." Okay, that's basically turning into the freaking new rape allegation crap. It's like, "Oh, he defended the Nazis because he was saying, oh, we shouldn't be overreacting to this one moronic neo-Nazi and all that." I'm not getting into that. I don't care what happened in Charlottesville. I don't really care. People are allowed to protest. People can do whatever they freaking want as long as it doesn't interfere with me. I do have morals, but calling someone a Nazi and then defending it on Twitter. I actually got someone to get the tweets for me. And reading them, yeah, Verlisify did not defend Nazis on Twitter. This kind of adds back to the massive delusion in the Pokemon community. Because you have these, like, morons, essentially, who are just... How do I put it? They say things and then the audience is meant to follow. Pokemon is a community full of followers and not leaders. You have people literally harping the same thing the YouTubers say, and everyone's going to say, "Oh, well, you just harp what Verlisify said. Oh, you were anti-cheating. Oh, you defended him against the hate he really deserves." And maybe he does deserve to get pushed around a tad bit, but he has that "I'm going to go after you" mentality, so he knows what he's signing up for. You guys, on the other hand, make this way bigger than it needs to be, especially you, Duncan. Okay. So, what's this all boiling down to? Point's boiling down to this. Please leave Verlisify alone. You're not going to accomplish anything by trying to make an evisceration video of this one YouTuber. You're not going to make anything possible by making the cringiest rap song I've ever heard before. Shofu. "My wrist is so stupid they call it Verlisify." That is the wackest thing I've ever heard in my life. Also, the flow of it. What? Like, what the heck is that idiotic? Is that what modern day rap is now? You just say the same word over and over, include a really dumb line to the process, and that makes the rap good? That makes an evisceration rap good? Shofu? Come on, man. I had higher hopes for you. Like, you're a really good battler on Smash and Pokemon altogether, but this is a low look, man, and I honestly don't think you should have went for the bait Verlisify, he's always going to go after you. You have more subscribers than him, so why bother? Why make a cringy as crap rap video that is awful in every single right, and then freaking brand it? It's stupid. How old are you, Shofu? I don't know your age, but I know you're an adult. So what are my thoughts on Verlisify? I like him. He's still my number one YouTuber. I don't agree with what he has to say about Sun and Moon. He acts a little like the Sun and Moon apologist, as I told you a bit. He can get on to me about that, but I just defended him throughout this entire video, so I don't think he's really gonna care. But it's dumb. Like some of the stuff he says is dumb. I'll agree. Like trying to defend Sun and Moon for it being a bad game. Like, we all know it's a bad game. It's not. It's dumb. Trying to harp up Ultra Sun and Moon and then calling the Lycanroc palette swap, yeah, that's what I'm going to call it, is a completely new Pokemon. Yeah, I didn't agree with that either. I don't agree with most of the stuff he's been doing lately, but he really helped me get into competitive battling. And he was the one who honestly inspired my Chatot set, the thing that just completely sweeps through every team. So I'm going to give him the credit where it's due. He knew what he was signing up for by going after the freaking game developers, by going after like big name YouTubers like Idiotic Rap Master 212. And that's just how it is. Let Verlisify be Verlisify. If you don't like Verlisify, don't go to his video and give him views. Thinking, oh, if I just go and dislike, this problem will go away. Morons, you're giving him views. You are giving him money by clicking on the link because you hate him so much. Stop watching him if you hate him. If you truly want Verlisify gone, stop going to his videos and dislike spamming them. It's as simple as it gets, right there. Yeah, you're probably realizing that I'm not stuttering and going, as much in these, because I know what I'm going to say to these idiots. Like, synopsis of the Pokemon community. Idiots, apologists, man-children, as some of the people in the Monster Hunter community call them, Poketards. That's whenever we were supposed to compete with Pokemon, but an E3 happened. And it's just how it is. I think that's basically the story of this entire freaking video. So we have that. So what's it all going to boil down to? My laptop screen just went black. It's all going to boil down to this. I love Pokemon. It probably moved back up to my number one gaming franchise after the disaster of E3 for Monster Hunter. But it has its fair share of idiots. Like, more so than Monster Hunter has right now. So that's just the synopsis of it. Going to the Switch and getting all of your developers that made Gens 1 through 5 back, or Gens 1 through 6, I don't remember. Good move by Game Freak. And I'm really happy they are going back to what made them good, instead of continuously rubbing their franchise down the dirt that was known as Gen 7. End of story. Now, this was a bit more of a harsh podcast. I was hoping it'd be that way. I really, it's like talking with children when talking to some people in the Pokemon community. You just have to like tell them how it is. But I think that kind of wraps up this podcast. Now, in the next podcast, I'm going to be partnered up with Noah again. We're going to be talking about the Switch's success, primarily at Black Friday. We're also going to be talking about Capcom starting to turn ship after that big announcement known as the Mega Man Collector's Edition. We're going to also talk about more Switch things. It's not going to be related to Monster Hunter. We may tie some Monster Hunter things in there. But for these next two podcasts, I'm going to stay off of Monster Hunter. There was big Monster Hunter Worlds info though, with the beta and the gigabyte size apparently being able to fit on the Switch, and as it was, the beta could be ran on the Switch. Honestly, I'm confident now it can run. I think it's given now it can run on the Switch. It's just a matter of Capcom lying to our faces. But that's for a new video. I think we'll save that for like whenever I get into a timeline. Whenever the game's coming close to release, I have a very special video planned. I basically want to show the timeline of whenever they released Worlds to all the news that began to release about this game that led to all the controversies, and how boycotters versus the White Knighters, that fight is just getting started. Alright, so that's about it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick podcast. All the other ones have been like 50 minutes to like an hour long. This one's shortened by like 20 minutes, I think. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. If you like the podcast, leave a like or dislike, because I already know there's going to be a few. I've already been through this. If you want me to talk about some things from this podcast on the next podcast, leave a comment. If you agree, that's fine. If you disagree, do not put an ad hominem. Say you disagree, state why, and I'll address it. Respectfully. I will respect your comment if you respect my video, regardless of like or dislike. My name's Did I say Coreman590 at the beginning of the video? I think I did. My name's Coreman the Garuga. This has been another podcast. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.